We're back for another Polk Nation. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
How was your weekend? Busy weekend?
Oh boy, really busy. I mean, we had baseball, softball. It was really, really busy.
And you got even more. It's even busier this weekend. You got softball, baseball, and both basketball.
That's right. That's right. It's a busy time. This is the busiest time of year for my staff. We meet every morning at 8, or not every morning, but every Monday at 8 o'clock. And I thank them all. I mean, people really don't realize the amount of time that this staff works. It's not a 9 to 5. Athletics is not a 9 to 5 Monday through Friday job.
No. So you got tennis winning.
Yeah.
You've got track and field setting all kinds of indoor records. So it's not just the main sports.
No, I'm really excited.
Football's just about to start.
I know. I'm really excited about where we are as a department. I really am, and we've come a long way. You can start to see that. All of our sports really are starting to trend. Trend
in the right direction.
That's exactly
right.
Right.
I'm going to ask you this because this is a weird thing to me.
Okay.
For a school this size to have 3 coaches on staff right now of the 5 major sports, the winningest coaches in the history of the programs. You got football with Matt Viator, who will break the record. He's tied with the record right now. You've got James Landreneau, who just set the record with 305 wins now as a softball coach, and you've got Justin Hill. Hill and Landreneau, ironically, only coached here. That's all, their whole career. What does that mean? I mean, how unique is that for somebody this size? This is not a big school where you go to.
I think it's really unique, but I also think that it's special. I think that, when I took over as the athletic director, one of the biggest things that frustrated me was, well, we're just McNeese. And no, we're McNeese. We can do this. And I think we've created environments where Justin and James wanted to stay here and really build something here. And, to get Coach Viator back. And I would say this in front of Coach Viator if he's here. The biggest question Coach Viator asked me is said, listen, I have no interest in coming back to the same job.
Yeah.
Tell me what's different. Tell me how this has grown, because I don't want to do that again.
Yeah.
And once I explained it all to him, and the McNeese Athletic Foundation and centralized recruiting and eliminating, the 25 clubs, et cetera, then it's like, okay, but I think that we're continuing to grow as a department, and we're making this a place that people want to come, and if you have the success that those guys had, they can stay and coach here a long time.
It also says something about the town because people aren't looking to get out.
Absolutely, and the community and the community support is probably the number one thing, honestly.
Okay, so this weekend is kind of a big weekend for you, basketball-wise.
Yes.
You've got women's basketball senior day on Saturday. Then you got men's basketball on Monday. Men's basketball is actually kind of strange because actually both of them are, because there's so many transfers in that. Who's a senior, who's not a senior? Who actually is a senior with the 5th year coming?
It's weird. Yeah, it's really weird. It's funny. I joked with my staff last week. I'm like, the senior day, 10 years ago really was different because man, you got to see these kids, and most of them 4 years, and now it's so transactional that the senior day isn't really as it means something because it's a lot, but still it doesn't register as much as it used to.
It's different for a Christian Shoemate who was here 4 years.
That's right.
And brought the program from was here when it was and now to then a guy like Joe Charles who's only been here 1 year. Those are 2 completely different seniors.
That's right.
But it's interesting that you got a Javon Garcia who's a senior, but is he a senior? Is he gone? He gets a 5th year?
Yeah. Garcia gets another year.
Breed gets another year.
Yeah, Breed gets another year. Sincere Parker actually have another year. Bryant will have another year because of the
5th year.
The 5th year with the JUCOs. Yeah, so
it
is 100%.
But it is always fun to see, especially a Shoemate type.
Yeah.
That is, and what's he done for the program? I mean, what did his branding do last year?
I think it's meant a lot. He was here when we were still practicing in Burton Coliseum.
No, playing in Burton Coliseum.
No doubt about it. To see that, I mean, to him to kind of grow, I think he's grown a lot as a human being and as a person, and he's meant a lot to this department and has meant a lot to this community.
Yeah, he was there when the Cats outnumbered the people.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
You remember those days?
Oh,
You loved
gosh.
Burton, didn't you?
I love the Legacy Center. Yes.
Okay. You were happy there was a Burton after the hurricane.
Yes,
We'll say that.
For sure. People really don't realize, like that year when I was doing both, I mean, we had no place to practice.
No place.
Like we didn't even get on the floor until the middle of October.
I think they practiced in like 9 different places. in
Yeah,
town.
it was
Churches.
awful. Yeah, it was awful.
It was pretty bad. But to see him go through all that, that's kind of the interesting one of this group. But senior day is actually, that could be clinched in. There are a lot of things going on
Absolutely,
this weekend.
100%.
You got a lot of things, and you're going to Southeastern tonight, which we're taping on Monday night. I'll be at Southeastern.
I'll be there too. It's a big
Didn't offer
game.
me a ride, did you?
One versus two.
You didn't offer me a ride?
You're more than welcome to hop in the car with me. Yeah, Dr. Roos and I. Actually, I don't think Dr. Roos is going to want to ride with you. But
No,
it's okay.
probably not. When we come back, James Landreneau will be our guest. All-time winningest softball coach at McNeese now.
Amazing.
After this on Poke Nation.
Whether it's an injury case, a property case, or a business dispute, our lawyers are at the top of their game. Ask anyone who knows us. At Veron Bice, we don't enter popularity contests. The only ratings we care about are the verdicts we've obtained for our clients. Ask anyone who knows us.
Ever since I was young, I've known what I wanted to do. Sure, I had some guidance along the way. Thanks, Mom and Dad. But eventually, I had all I wanted. Family, career. It went by fast. Now I'm here. Retirement. And thanks to sound financial planning, it will be all I hoped for. And our children will have a secure legacy. For me, retirement is the next great chapter in my life.
Ferdinandson Financial Group. Let us help you make a plan.
Welcome to Nogales Mexican Cuisine and Bar, where every dish is crafted with fresh ingredients bursting with flavor. Make your date night unforgettable with our authentic Mexican dishes in a cozy and unique setting. Experience our warm and welcoming staff dedicated to ensuring your dining experience is nothing short of exceptional. Unwind at our bar with weekly drink specials perfect for any occasion. Nogales Mexican Cuisine and Bar, where great food, people, and drinks come together.
The Cowboys are going to do some really big things. Really big.
McNeese athletes bring big energy, big plays, and big spirit to every game. That's why Lakeside is proud to be such a huge fan. We're a hometown team too, in the business of backing big dreams across our community every day. And we always bank on big wins with McNeese Sports. Go big with Lakeside and McNeese.
New to Lake Charles, but not Louisiana, Mockler Beverage has been a leading Anheuser-Busch distributor for over 35 years. Known for an unwavering commitment to quality and service, we're excited to bring our excellence to Southwest Louisiana. Our exceptional portfolio of brands ensures we have the perfect beverage for every taste and occasion. Experience the Mockler difference, where every sip tells a story of excellence and satisfaction. Mockler Beverage, we serve Southwest Louisiana. For more information or to join the team, go to mocklerbeverage.com.
Welcome back to Poke Nation. And Coach Landreneau, welcome back, my friend.
Thanks for having me.
You doing
Appreciate
good?
it. Yes, sir, I am.
So we're off. I mean, the start of the season has been kicked off, and we're in high gear. And first thing, congratulations on 300.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All-time winningest coach in school history. 300 wins is a lot. Congratulations on that. What did you feel like after that, after the game?
I wish I had some kind of storybook thing to say, but I was worried about the next game. To be honest with you, there wasn't much time. You play so many games, and I think for me, I got to keep grounded in what's important. Important is I got to be my best for my team, find a way for us to be a little better. So, like I told Jim after the game, I'm sure years down the road I'll get to reflect and enjoy it a little bit more. Right now, I just really have to move forward and make sure, hey, we have a game the next day. We didn't play as well as I thought we should have, so get ourselves ready. But the testament, but I don't want to take away from what Scott Eastman had done for McNeese over the years. He set the groundwork for us to have the stage that we have now, and so we appreciate everything he done for McNeese and the softball program.
Well, and then this weekend, you obviously had, to the Tennessee Vols in town. Tell me what that experience was like.
Yeah,
for you and the girls. And
Yeah, it's for us. It's can we get ourselves ready to play no matter who the opponent is? And obviously, we didn't perform as well as we'd like to against Tennessee. And it's what can you learn from those things to make you better. I mean, Karen does a phenomenal job with that team. They're a top 6 team in the country, explosive offense. And I thought for a few innings we did some good things with some players that we could kind of build on and grow from. But that's the whole thing, is can you grow from that experience? And I feel we'll have that opportunity to do so.
For you guys, it was almost like a mini regional. You played a mid-major early on to start with. Then you had the Tennessee. Do you use that as kind of this is what we have to do if we want to get to where we want? Or
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is the players understanding the mindset of like what a grind it is to actually be focused for every single pitch. Because you take a pitch off, you make one mistake against a dynamic team like Tennessee, you're going to pay for it. And they made us pay. When we made mistakes, they made us pay for it. From the defensive side, we made a couple defensive miscues, give somebody else an opportunity to plate, they'd hit the home run. So I think that's the learning experiences, man. Like every single pitch could be a difference in a game. And so hopefully that's what we could build on.
wind blowing in, cold night, they homered everywhere.
They didn't stop it, man. When you hit it hard enough,
That's the best offensive team I've seen here.
Yeah, I think in my coaching career, I'd say that's the second best offensive team I've ever seen. I think 3 years ago, the OU team was putting up some great numbers. They were kind of that dynamic 1 through 9. But yeah, I think Craig Snyder, they hired Craig as a hitting coach this year, which is a former head coach, and did a great job. They were prepared. They didn't miss many pitches, man. They were really good.
But overall on the weekend, you go 4-2.
Yeah.
You're 7-4 now. You have 305 career wins you're up to. But one thing about it is you're a very young team. You have a lot of young players doing well early. Usually you get better anyway with your types of teams. Now, how much can this grow? Can this team grow with them being so young?
Yeah, time will tell, right? You always believe in your team and believe you could get better. And you're right. We have some young players that are contributing early for us. And, Samantha Mundine's only a sophomore. She's red hot right now for us. And Cassie Chance came in and had a really good weekend. And, I think in the Nichols game, Anna McElroy, as a catcher, was 3 for 3 with a home run. I think she had 4 RBIs in that game. So we have some young players that are getting there. And we also have some players that are finding a new position, moving Dibley to right field and Bouvier to first base. So letting them, Jada to third base, trying to get their feet wet a little bit. So if we allow the game to teach us and grow and get away from the distractions and stay focused on getting better every day, I think we have tremendous upside if we allow those things to happen and don't get caught up in distractions.
You did worry a little bit about pitching going in. This weekend, you got 2 big wins the last 2 games from freshman pitchers. How important is that to see their development from their first time out?
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime, we kind of joke about time under tension, right? How many, when you could get some stressful innings and learn how to mature and work through it, and that's what we're starting to see. Cadence Williams is coming off. She had a fracture in the off season, so I think she'll get better with the more time as a freshman. And I thought Maddie Taylor, what I really liked what Maddie did yesterday is she got hit hard a couple times and just got right back in there and got the next person out. So that's showing me that she didn't get flustered. She's a true competitor. So I think that's the thing. Can we get some innings? Can we watch some film and grow from it and learn how to focus for 7?
So let's stay on pitching a little bit because I'm always fascinated by it. So you have obviously 2 freshman pitchers. What is it like managing them or coaching them versus, the last couple of years you had some vets, right? So what is the approach? Is there a different approach? Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I think what's interesting is it's really trying to find out what's going on with them. When you have a Shaylin Sanders and Whitney Tate and Vallejo and those kids, you've been with them since they were freshmen. Yeah. Over the years, you kind of build a relationship. You know exactly what's going on with them. And I think with Cadence and Maddie, which are 2 different type players. Cadence is way more relaxed and reserved. Maddie's real high-strung, a little bit more energy, and just trying to find out what's going on during the game. And then for us, it's just really having to be patient and understanding, hey, this is why we're pitching this hitter this way. So an example yesterday was, we throw 3 balls in a row to a kid that just hit the home run, and with the tying run on, and we throw 3 balls intentionally because we want the walker to get to the kid on deck.
Sure.
And she was like, why are we walking her? I was like, well, we want to get to the kid that hit 160, not the kid that's hitting 400,
Right.
And so that mindset, that's where we have to be real patient in teaching and understanding that there's a lot of parts of the game they don't understand yet. So I think
But the day before, or in the first game of the tournament, on Thursday, or before the tournament actually began, you actually had a person that you faced, you went 3-0 to, that had 2 home runs against you. It was the tying run, and you went after her.
we did, not intentionally. Like the conversation was, hey, we're not going to give in to anything over the plate. If we could get her to maybe chase something, or we get the umpire to expand the zone and give us a gift, we'll take it. But if we walk, that's the other thing is, in crucial situations, I'm having to call a little bit more timeouts, make sure everybody's on the same page, especially with a freshman catcher as well.
Makes sense.
So that's been a learning curve for me, is just making sure everybody's on the same page. But yeah, we did go after her, and we were fortunate enough to get her out. And I thought the 3-0 pitch had been called a ball, was called a strike, and Maddie got really competitive up there. And that's the hard thing that we can't forget, that the pitchers are competitive, so they want to challenge people.
No doubt.
Especially if you got them earlier,
When we come back with James Landreneau, we're going to talk about this weekend coming up after this.
Whether it's an injury case, a property case, or a business dispute, our lawyers are at the top of their game. Ask anyone who knows us. At Veron Bice, we don't enter popularity contests. The only ratings we care about are the verdicts we've obtained for our clients. Ask anyone who knows us.
Ever since I was young, I've known what I wanted to do. Sure, I had some guidance along the way. Thanks, Mom and Dad. But eventually, I had all I wanted. Family, career. It went by fast. Now I'm here. Retirement. And thanks to sound financial planning, it will be all I hoped for. And our children will have a secure legacy. For me, retirement is the next great chapter in my life.
Ferdinandson Financial Group. Let us help you make a plan.
Welcome to Nogales Mexican Cuisine and Bar, where every dish is crafted with fresh ingredients bursting with flavor. Make your date night unforgettable with our authentic Mexican dishes in a cozy and unique setting. Experience our warm and welcoming staff dedicated to ensuring your dining experience is nothing short of exceptional. Unwind at our bar with weekly drink specials perfect for any occasion. Nogales Mexican Cuisine and Bar, where great food, people, and drinks come together.
The Cowboys are going to do some really big things. Really big.
McNeese athletes bring big energy, big plays, and big spirit to every game. That's why Lakeside is proud to be such a huge fan. We're a hometown team too, in the business of backing big dreams across our community every day. And we always bank on big wins with McNeese Sports. Go big with Lakeside and McNeese.
We're back with softball coach James Landreneau talking about his 305 career wins, most in program history. One of 3 coaches on campus right now in the main sports that have the most wins in program history. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah. Well, look, when you sit there and reflect about it, it means I've been fortunate, right? I mean, the only way you're going to win 307 games is if you have great players and great coaches around you. Coach, you know how it is. You have to have great people around you. And our administration has really bought into supporting athletics. And when you kind of tie in, now the community's really on board. We're just in a good situation right now. And I've been fortunate to work with great people, great coaches, great coaches and great players along the way that have really set the stage for where we're at right now. And, I get to enjoy the benefit. I'm going to tell you what's really interesting is Alea Seneca's on our staff. If you take from when she played for us in coaching, she's been a part of probably 250 of those wins.
How about that?
And
Wow.
so I paid some tribute. I talked to her about it. It's like, we don't get mentioned this, but having players and coaches like her, and, I've been very fortunate that a lot of former players stayed on and coached with us. And so very blessed, and I get the recognition, but it's because of what other people have done.
Okay, so this was an interesting tournament. It was the I-10 Border Classic. You shared it with Beaumont.
Mm-hmm.
You have another tournament coming up this week in the Cowgirl Classic. But you're saying that you're having harder times getting teams down here for these.
Yeah, I think it's just all across the country. When everybody, the scheduling is tough. Like you're fighting for RPI games, but you're also fighting budgets and time, and
For sure.
and everything is tough to do. And so, sometimes it's just a little harder, and I wouldn't say it's just people don't want to play. It's just everybody in the South is trying to host tournaments, and the people from the North,
Trying to go find them.
yeah, they're trying to find it. And so it's getting a little bit tougher. And the East Coast and West Coast have some bigger tournaments where they're taking in more teams. So it gets a little bit more challenging for us.
So talk about your scheduling philosophy, right?
Yeah.
Everyone talks about the teams that you're able to over the course last couple of years attract here. What is the overall philosophy with the preseason schedule? What is your thought process?
Yeah, I think you want to try to get a couple top 25 games in there for two things. With RPI-wise, it's going to help you strengthen the schedule down the road. You want to get, some top 50s, some 50-50 games that you feel like you match up really well against and have a chance to really increase your strength of schedule, but also challenge your team. And depending on how your conference, which like I was telling Jim, like our conference has done a really good job of scheduling better.
Yeah.
And, we moved up, I think when we first started this thing years ago, we were in the 20s. Us being in the, I think, 10 last year is a big adjustment. So that's making it a little bit easier for scheduling. But yeah, you want to get a couple of those top 25 teams in so your team feels what it's like, but also, for the RPI standing, some top 50, and then you always want to try to get, back half of that top 7, I'd say, with quad 3 games.
Is there a chance you could get 2 teams in?
I think
is that
so.
still-
I think so. I think Southeastern's playing really well, and then Cornet Word had a couple big wins, a win over Pitt yesterday. So, I think in 17 and 18, our team, if we wouldn't have won the league that year, people that were on the committee said we were in. So it shows that if you schedule right, but you got to win a couple of those.
You got to win a couple.
You got to win a couple, like a quad 1 or some quad 2 games. You have to get some of those victories, and we had those years. And so I think it's possible, because I think if you look at everybody's schedule too in the South right now, they're challenging themselves. And so it's kind of carrying across the league.
Yeah, that took me, I remember the first couple of years, you were like, we need other people to schedule up so that we can get that kind of a rise. When did you see that change? And is that an investment from others?
Yeah, I think just overall, probably about, the first part of 2021, when we came back from COVID, you really have seen a shift in that. I think the ADs have done a great job in the league of hiring some really quality coaches and put an emphasis on winning. You see in the investment into facilities and people caring. And, I always say with the expansion of TV, I think the sport has gotten more popular. So I say that combination of it all. But yeah, since 21, you've really seen people kind of ramp up the scheduling.
So, Coach, my last question for you is, obviously, you over 300 wins now. When you look back at when you started as a head coach to now, what has been different? Because you continue to evolve, right? But, from day one to, sitting here now, what has been consistent in your approach, and how have you tweaked and changed?
Oh man, what a great question! I don't know if we have enough in this segment to say that. I think as a coach, you have to constantly evaluate what's your performance, what's effective. I think when I first got started, I probably tried to fight every battle that was out there, and everything got to me, and I was always on edge. I think now I've been able to kind of sit back and pick and choose. I think I try to do a better job at evaluating what each player needs, and not coaching every player the same. And I think and having some more one-on-one time where sometimes you got to pat them on the back, and sometimes you got to wake them up, and trying to figure that out. I think the other thing is doing a better job of trying to evaluate what each team needs.
Yeah.
Just because in 17 I coached the team a certain way, that didn't work in 18. I had to change my approach, even though it's the same players. So I think that part of it has been better, and just trying to keep my focus on the team and evaluate what's effective and not. And hopefully that's what's grown, trying to make for a better college experience for our players.
James Landreneau, the all-time winningest coach at McNeese State softball history, 305 wins and counting. You're not done yet, are you? Another 300?
I'm not ready to retire yet.
Another 300 maybe, who knows? We'll be back with Coach's final thoughts after this.
Whether it's an injury case, a property case, or a business dispute, our lawyers are at the top of their game. Ask anyone who knows us. At Veron Bice, we don't enter popularity contests. The only ratings we care about are the verdicts we've obtained for our clients. Ask anyone who knows us.
We're back, Poke Nation, and I want to say this. We saw you go out to the middle of the softball field for the opening pitch, opening night.
Yeah, I mean, corporate sponsors do that. Like, that's what you do.
But did you feel out of place, or?
No, not at all. Not at all.
You gotta have the softball people throw underhand.
No, I asked them that. They always have the option. We always
they?
ask them, yeah, do you want to do it in there? You know, if you don't know how to really do that, it kind of looks a little awkward. So most guys,
Okay.
you know, would rather just throw
No,
it.
I get you.
Most
but-
people would just rather throw it.
Yeah, I get you, but it just you gotta get in the mood. This is a weird weekend for you because you are hosting everything. How does your staff? You talked a little bit about it earlier about your staff but how do you make the decisions on when to play games and that? Because you don't want to back everything into one time. You're trying to separate a little bit
We are.
because you got traffic, you've got all these things going on, but eventually they're all going to punch up.
It's a lot, especially Saturday. You know, you got a baseball game, you have, you know, women's basketball, men's basketball. It's a lot, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know,
And that's all right here.
it's all right here, correct. So we're hoping that, you know, obviously the women's game was before the men, but, you know, baseball is going to be winding up here before the men's basketball game. So hopefully a lot of the baseball people will come over and, because a lot of the season ticket holders are season ticket holders with both
Yeah,
sports.
and you got another. That's another thing is you want to appease them as much as you can to get them to both events or as many
Yes.
events. You also have the Toyota tailgate back.
It's going to be great. I'm excited.
Did you
about
like the
that.
first one?
I did. I thought it was great. I hope the weather's going to be, you know, warmer than it is today. We're filming on Monday, but it's great. I mean,
It's not going to be much warmer.
the Tarver family do a great job, and it's great. I mean, really, it's free food, you know, free entertainment. Come out, you know, before the game, and it means a lot. I think it was really well attended last time, and I think it'd be just as well attended, if not more, this time.
And Saturday is the women's senior day.
Yes,
Huge game against Corpus Christi all of a sudden.
huge,
Winner probably gets the 8th seed.
huge.
Is that
It's
the
a
way you
huge
look
deal.
at it?
Yes, I think that.
It
you
looks
still got
that
to win,
way. I mean,
right?
you
You
still
still got to
gotta-
win, right? But like, we're coming down a stretch. We had a huge win against New Orleans on Saturday, but you know, if we can beat, you know, Corpus, it gives us the tiebreaker and gets us into the tournament, which will be a huge step in the right direction for this program, and hopefully,
Especially with
we
the
can
hosting
accomplish
it. I mean, that's.
It's a big deal.
Okay, so the tournament's coming after that. So then you have to get out of town after this weekend to play on and give them the court, I guess, right?
Correct.
So the women actually have 3 games in a row then at home. But the court itself, when do they come in? How much do they need and what do they change? Do you
Well,
work
they're
with
gonna-
them much or?
Yeah, I mean, our facilities people, Colby and that group work with them the most, but it takes about 48 hours to really turn it around. They take the McNeese off the court, and you know, it's a Southland court, like it's like a sticker that's so thin that goes over the court. It's pretty unique.
Yeah, but it is the same court.
It's the same court, yes. It's the same wood, except there's a little, obviously.
Because people are like, do they bring it in? No, that's
No.
the big schools.
Yeah, yeah, we're not taking
That's
the
the
court.
big, that's the big events.
But it takes about 48 hours to really turn over the building, and but once that happens, the Southland comes in and they redo the locker rooms and they do everything. So
Have you been happy with the arrangement?
yeah, I mean, there's growing pains with it, but I'm really excited. I think that Chris and his group do a great job. Our community really supports it. The economic impact is phenomenal, and you know, I think that especially with Dr. Roos here, you know, his ability to really host the other presidents and things like that, I think that it's really good for the league. It's really good for the community, and there's not a venue anywhere that is this size with this many amenities, this many locker rooms.
No.
That's centrally located. It's a no-brainer to host a tournament here.
And big weekend this weekend. You get a look at everything. Don't forget Saturday, especially Corpus Christi. We'll see you next week.